Hey everybody! It's welcome back to the next episode of the KB&Jey podcast. I'm J Roll here with my awesome co-host and awesome friend person.
Hello, I'm KingBomBeard, or Hugo, call me whatever you want. I don't know. It's been a very long time since we've done one of these.
It has. It's been almost a month. It's really sad. We've both been busy. Life has been busy. But yeah, we're gonna be talking about a really interesting topic, which we'll introduce in a minute. But first, we're gonna talk about what we've been doing lately with games and what we're looking forward to with games. And I'll let you start on that.
Oh, so basically, it's August now, so basically just waiting for Sonic Mania to come out, which comes out like next week, because on Tuesday, and I am incredibly excited. But to keep myself occupied, I've been playing like the 3DS lineup that's been out at the moment, so like Ever Oasis, Hey Pikmin, and Miitopia, and I'm loving all three of them. Miitopia is probably it's weird. Miitopia is the best one out of the three, which shocks me because it was the one that I really didn't want to play when I first saw it. I was like, yeah, it doesn't look amazing. But now having played some of it and I've been streaming it over on Twitch, it's just it's so fun.
I wonder how much more is left. Because you played like...
I could look it up. I'm actually going to look up how long it is to beat it. Thank God for that website. I would say it's about 40
you played it like
hours,
6 or 7 hours. What? Oh wow, okay.
It's like a full-on RPG. I'm looking on the thing. 28 hours apparently. It's about
okay, so you still got like a long way. Okay.
I've got a substantial chunk left, but it's been really, really fun. Like, I'm shocked at how fun this game is. Because it's like you sort of, it's one of those. It's a really good stream game, which I don't think a lot of people who have the 3DS like capture device have sort of picked up on. It's literally you are focusing more on the chat and the adventure your characters are creating than like the story that's there. Because the story's pretty simple. It's literally Dark Lord is stealing people's faces. You choose who the Dark Lord is out of all your friends, and then you choose your party out of all your friends, and you can make that be your followers on Twitch, you can make it be your subscribers, you can make it be anything you want, and it's like you're creating stories around these characters. Like we've seen, at the moment my party is me, Sherry Birkengirl, you, and Magic Zenith, and just all the stories that are coming out from those guys, just like what's been going on with those characters, like their relationships. You have fights within the group, we've had sort of like friendships blossom, rivalries happen. It's really ridiculous and really, really cute, and I love it. It's a really good stream game, and I'd recommend anyone who has a 3DS capture device and has the game and you want to stream it. It's like the best game to stream on 3DS.
Yeah, the biggest rivalry has been like us two so far.
Yes, there's a rivalry because we're both the highest friendship with Sherry, and just your character kept giving her like presents and stuff, and it kept making my character very jealous. And it was like it's ridiculous. It's a really, really, really cute, really funny game, and I've been enjoying it. So what about you? What have you been playing and what have you been up to? Because
I've been making my way through all of the Dream Daddies so far. Almost done. I've got 3 left. I mean, I've played through 5 routes so far. I've played through Robert, Craig, Hugo, who's the other one I just did? Okay, Damien. Right, I just did Damien's. And I played Matt's, but I played Matt's in my own time. But I'm going to do it anyway on the channel. So I've got 3 left to do on the channel. It's Matt, Brian, and Joseph. And I'm saving Joseph for last because I don't really like him that much. And I've also heard from several people you have to get S or A ranks on all the other dates before you can even start his route. Or before you can do good in his route, something like that. So that's what I've been doing. I know, and it's really interesting to think about. I hope that they eventually, when they make like a patch and stuff, because I know there are still some mini games, like Robert's route. There's supposed to be a whittling mini game that hasn't been put in yet. So when they do a patch, maybe they'll include that mysterious secret cult ending that I know is actually a thing because I've seen it. And you have to like data mine to actually be able to get it on your computer. So it's really interesting. And I'm going to be playing some Zelda for the channel later because it's been almost 6 months and I really need to get back into it because I want to finish it soon. I want to finish it this year.
Yay.
I don't want it to be like a 3-year running thing. So yeah, that's a thing. And hopefully I can start getting more games and stuff since I have a job now. And I'll have money to buy more games. I know. I want to get a Switch really bad. So, yeah.
You're not the only one. A lot of people have like been saying I want to Switch just so they can play it's so you can play it on the go, but you can also play it with. I don't want to sound big-headed, but you can play it with me.
I know, that's the thing. I want it more for Mario Kart, to be honest, than I do for Zelda, which I know is like blasphemy because it's me. But from everything I've seen, I do want Breath of the Wild, but I'd rather have Mario Kart first because I can play with more people.
Yeah. Well, Mario Kart and Splatoon are like the ones that I'd definitely recommend. Like, I've been playing that as well. I've been playing Splatoon 2, and I'm still a C- rank on Ranked Battle, but on the actual game, I think about level 15 now. I've not been playing as much. I need to actually charge the Switch. Now that it's on my mind, I'll charge my Switch while I'm out later, but I will do that. So, yeah, I just need to play more of it and might record more. I know for a fact that's going on hiatus the second Sonic comes out because screw everything, Sonic. It's a 2D Sonic game. It's what I've wanted for years.
That actually kind of sort of leads us into our next topic, if I'm thinking about it.
Yeah. Yep. So our topic for the day, I already know what this is. Our topic for the day is games that we don't get, but everyone seems to like. So expect a lot of rage, people. Well, not rage from us, but yeah, you might think a little bit differently of us after this this episode.
Expecting
it's a very controversial episode.
Yeah, some friends probably will try to disown us for a day or two and not speak to us, but that's fine. These are just our opinions. They're not anybody else's opinions. We're not saying they're true. We're not saying you guys should hate these games. These are just our opinions.
No, it's just we don't understand that we get the game and we get what the thing is, but it just doesn't appeal to us. Is basically what this is about. It's like, and we're sort of going to try and explain why it doesn't appeal to us if we can. But seeing as I mentioned Sonic and then you say this goes into the topic, I know for a fact that this is going to be a Sonic related thing. So tell me, what is your one of your series that you just don't get?
Okay, well, one of them, I shouldn't have said it like that, but anyway, yes, one of them is Sonic because I never played it when I was younger. So in most recent years, I've seen it on YouTube and everything, and I've seen so many I don't want to say bad, but I've seen so many broken things about the games. Like, I understand what makes them enjoyable, but I've seen so many people shit on them at the same time. I'm like, I don't really get why they have such a huge fan base. But you, as a person who loves Sonic and has loved Sonic for as long as I can remember you telling me, maybe you can kind of shed some light on that, because I still don't understand it. I know it's cool and all, but I don't get it. If I played it, I might get it, but I haven't ever played it. So
I've been a Sonic fan since Sonic's the first second video game I ever played. I played a Batman game first, but Sonic was my first platformer. That was my first ever game that I sat down and actually played myself with no one else in the room, no one telling me what to do, and I just picked it up. The original Sonic is really easy to pick up and play. It's got enough challenge in it to keep it interesting. With a couple of the levels which are Sonic, the whole thing with Sonic back in the 90s was Mario is supposed to be this clean cut, really sweet looking, cute mascot. He was the cute one for kids. Sonic was supposed to be the attitude one for teenagers. And he is so 90s it hurts. And because obviously we both grew up in the 90s, and I grew up with that part of the 90s a lot more. Like, that was surrounded by Sega fans anyway. But Sonic has always been like this series that I've really, really enjoyed. And also because I didn't get the Dreamcast, so I didn't experience the 3D Sonic games till much later. Growing up with the 2D ones, like growing up with Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Sonic and Knuckles, I didn't actually get Sonic 3 until a couple of years ago. But I'd played it, obviously. But Sonic and Knuckles was like the latest one I'd played for a while. Sonic, to me, was just really fast, really energetic. Like, he's a really energetic platformer for the time. Like, if you look at platformers now, you can actually see there's a lot of Mario in there, there's a lot of Sonic in there, because a lot of them like to be ridiculously platform heavy and make like the platforming really intricate, like Mario. But then you'll have the levels are really fast, like Sonic. So it's like Sonic, like nowadays, Sonic's like sort of the, to me, just feels like it's a sort of place where it's like it's birthed so many other platformers. Like, for example, Super Meat Boy is definitely Mario-esque with its level design, but how fast Super Meat Boy's running, that's Sonic. I'm sorry, but that's Sonic the Hedgehog, because he's just moving ridiculously fast. But I will be the first to admit, being a massive Sonic fan, I'll be the first to admit, 3D games, crap. Utter crap. Like, I love... It's weird. I love them, but I hate them. It's really weird. It's like a love-hate relationship with the 3D Sonic games. It's like, they're fun the first time I play them. I'm like, this is really fun. I'm really having fun with this. The only one I didn't have that with was Sonic 06, actually. That was the only one I was like, I'm not enjoying this when I first played it. But when I actually sat down and played through it, I enjoyed it a lot more. I was just about to get onto that. I didn't like it the first time I played it, but when I actually beat it, I felt really, really satisfied because I'd beaten a broken piece of crap. And I was like, I have beaten this. I know it's possible to beat. And then I started playing it and breaking the game. And it's breaking that game is so fun to do anyway. That's the thing with 3D Sonic games. It's fun to break them. It's fun to just be stupid and just do weird things with them. And Sega as well, where like you can tell compared to Mario, where it's like Mario when he's in 3D, it's been a castle. He's gone into a castle and jumped into paintings. He's gone to a tropical island and he's gone into outer space. And now he's going around the world. Sonic, literally, instead of places and like the gimmicks coming from the place that Mario's in, Sonic, instead of doing the places, it's how can we make the game gimmicky with mechanics. For example, Shadow the Hedgehog, which is a main canon Sonic game, even though it's not got Sonic's in the name of the title, guns. What happens if we give Sonic the Hedgehog guns? And it's like, no, that's stupid, but it's enjoyable because of how stupid it is. Just the concept of Sonic and his 3D stuff is really, to me, is just ridiculous. And I love it. That's basically it. It's like, I will fully admit that Sonic the Hedgehog is garbage. Like, 3D Sonic is absolute trash, which is why I'm looking forward to Sonic Mania so much, because that's going back, I hate using this term, but it's going back to its roots. And I like that. So, but that's basically why I completely get why people don't like Sonic. But it's like, for me, that's why I like Sonic, because it's silly. I like playing Sonic games because they're just ridiculous.
I guess growing up with pretty much mainly Nintendo influence and then like straight to PS2, I don't know if I've ever played a Sega game, to be honest. So that could be another reason. I don't even know that many Sega games, actually. I know Sonic, that's about it. I don't
Sonic,
really...
I'm literally trying to think. Sonic's like the main one, but there's like Streets of Rage, Echo the Dolphin, Knights, Golden Axe. There's a lot of Sega games, but they're quite hard to find on other systems now, because they literally would make one game and then would scrap the rest. They would like cancel the series from that point. It's quite Sega is really tragic now that I think about it. It's like Sonic is the only thing that's keeping that company alive. Well, that and Bayonetta sort of, but that's about it. Bayonetta and their RPG series. Their RPGs are incredible, but they're not. They don't hold a candle to any other RPGs, but they are really good. They're really fun. I'm a RPG nerd, so yeah.
Yeah, I'm a bit of one. Not as much as I've seen other people be, but I do enjoy a good RPG from time to time.
Yeah.
But what is one of your, because you mentioned earlier, I think, that you had more than one. What is one of your series that you don't get that a lot of people like?
I really, 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 really don't get most Telltale games.
Oh, okay.
Most
Right.
of them. Like, there's a few I like. Like, for example, I like the really early ones, so like Back to the Future and Sam and Max, because that's essentially what I'd imagine those games would be, point-and-click adventure game. Wolf Among Us is another one that I really like.
You're
cosplayed as... because of you. I cosplayed as Big B Wolf when I went to Comic-Con a couple of weeks ago. But the rest of them, Walking Dead, this is the main one. The Walking Dead is the most boring game series I have ever seen. I don't get it. I just don't understand why people think the characters are interesting, why they find the situations interesting, and also the lack... Telltale, to me, at this point, just seem to lack variety. That all the games are very similar. They look the same. Like, I know there's differences, but to me, they all look the same. And just the main problem I have with Telltale is the illusion of choice. Like, they give you all these choices, but at the end of the day, none of your choices matter. The story will go the way it wants to go. Which I know it's got to do that, but at the same time, my main one is, it's been out for a while and season 2's out, but Batman. The Batman one has one choice in it, which annoys me to no end. There is a choice, and it's Catwoman is about to get shot, or Harvey Dent's going to have acid thrown in his face and become Two-Face. Who are you going to save? You can only save one of them. If you go and save Catwoman, he becomes Two-Face, obviously. If you go and save Harvey Dent, Catwoman will live, but she hates you. Harvey Dent will still become Two-Face. Through the same means. You do not get a choice. I don't like that about Telltale. To me, it feels like you don't get a choice. And with a choose-your-own-adventure story, you get a choice.
Okay, can I say something?
Yep.
I haven't played that many Telltale games. I've played The Wolf Among Us, and I've seen Life is Strange. I tried to play it on my old computer, and it did not work, so I never actually got to play it for myself. But I haven't seen really much of the Batman or The Walking Dead or anything like that. But with that particular choice, I see what you mean by, like, it didn't really affect anything. But in a way, it kind of did affect whether or not Catwoman hates you because of your choice. So I can kind of see why that would appeal to people because of, like... emotional connections to characters and stuff, but not every Telltale game is like that either.
Yeah, but at the same time, with that one, Catwoman hates you for about 5 minutes until Batman apologizes.
Okay, you didn't tell me
she's
that.
His friend again.
Okay, yeah, then it sounds like shit.
Yeah, but like I've seen bits of the new Batman game, and they seem to have fixed some stuff. So I'm fully willing to admit that they will fix stuff, and they do change it up a bit. But at the same time, I'm not into Telltale games particularly. I would sort of lump Life is Strange in here as well. I was going to have that be its own thing, but it's not a Telltale game, but it's the same style, and that's another thing. I'm not a massive...
Right.
Yeah, it's that's done by Square, published it, but Life is Strange is still a Telltale-esque game. I'm not a massive fan of the choose-your-own-adventure style stories because I just don't feel I'm getting much of a choice, but I understand the appeal. I completely do, because sometimes it's nice to play a game like that where you're you are this character and you can role play as them, and then even no matter what you do, things will go wrong. But at the same time, to me, as someone who grew up playing and reading these books called the Fighting Fantasy books, and they are basically choose your own adventure stories, and that does there's like preset things because they're books, but you decide your adventure as you go along, and it's like Dungeons and Dragons, so you're like rolling dice to let's see how much HP you've got and everything like that. So it's like I'm used to that sort of thing. I role play when I play games like that, but like I like having more choice than I do in those games.
Okay. Well, singing the praises of Wolf Among Us, I know you haven't seen all but like the first episode and half of like the second one. You do see as you go forward, it's still kind of, there is still like the base foundation of a linear storyline of the events still happen, but your choices actually do matter because it determines how you paint the picture of Big B in the eyes of everyone else. And
that's why I like
darker,
Wolf Among Us.
Yeah, darker things will happen determine on what you do. Because in my first playthrough that I didn't record, the one I'm recording on my channel now is actually my second playthrough, but my first one that I did, oh boy, I was like, I wonder what's going to happen if I choose the absolute worst choice. And then I immediately regretted it because, oh dear God, it's bad. But then, like, in this playthrough, I'm choosing a much more safer, more sane route. And I really like that about this one because it's like, it very clearly shows you the choices do matter. So I'm glad that you at least like that one. But I can understand where you're coming from about, like, other ones. And I haven't seen other ones really, so yeah.
Yeah, but from what I've seen of the other ones, Wolf Among Us seems to be the best done, like the one that's done the best. Which is why, obviously, loads of people have like, give us season 2 for so bloody long. Everyone's just been like, give us Wolf Among Us season 2, and then they're finally doing it. So, yeah. It's like,
you meant Wolf Among Us because you said Walking Dead at first.
I meant Wolf Among Us. Walking Dead. I'm just like, please let it finish. Let it die.
Isn't it like season 4 or something?
Yep, and the last season is coming out next year, I think. It's coming out the same sort of time as Wolf Among Us season 2. So,
yay! I'm so excited.
I will probably end up picking up Wolf Among Us season 1 and actually playing through it at some point.
Do it.
But
do it.
I probably will. I'll actually give it a go, and I'll have a look at being a prick.
Because the last time I checked, it was only like $20 when I bought it, but I bought it like almost 2 years ago.
Yeah, it will definitely be.
So,
it will definitely be cheaper, and it will run on the new laptop. So
yes, it will. If it'll run on mine, it'll run on yours. I'm sure.
If Overwatch can run on this thing, I think I can run.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you got a new laptop.
Yeah, that's another bit of news which I forgot to mention. But yeah, got a new laptop, so videos are back up and running. Yay! But we're going to talk about one more game each, I think. And what is the other one of your choices for what you don't get? I think this is the one that we discussed, and that was the thing that spawned this whole conversation.
Yep, it is. I don't know what compelled me to be like, I don't get Final Fantasy, but you were like, what? And I was like, I don't understand it. And you're like, we should do a podcast about games we don't get that everyone else likes and see how much people want to destroy us. But yeah, I don't get all the hype of Final Fantasy. Yeah, I was paraphrasing a lot. I really can't remember. This has been like 2 weeks in the making. We said something to the effect of we should do a podcast about like, the games that we don't get but everyone else does and see what happens. But yeah, I don't give Final Fantasy really much. Like, I'll agree, the characters are really pretty, and the characters, from what I've seen, of the very limited stuff I've seen, seem to have like depth and seem to have good storylines and stuff like that. But personally, me never really playing a game other than X2 or 10-2 or however you pronounce it, I don't think I really got a good introduction to the series. I did play, oh man, what's the one for Vincent? Dirge of Cerberus? I did play that, but I was younger, and I was in like, preteen, teenager years, so the only thing I was really focusing on was how hot the character was, aside from the actual story. So, I think if I were to play the games more now at an older age, I might develop an appreciation for them, but all the stuff that I just kind of see in passing, and I see how most of my friends are all like, oh, I love Final Fantasy, this, and this, I'm just like, I don't get it, because I don't have a very extensive knowledge of the world of Final Fantasy, and I totally just dropped my phone. Let's fix that. Okay. Can you still hear me?
Yes.
Okay, cool. I can still hear you too. Okay, sorry guys. But yeah. I've seen one of the movies, though. I've seen the Advent Children movie, and I like that. That was actually pretty interesting. Still don't know what the heck was going on, but yeah. And from what I've seen in Kingdom Hearts, again, I don't know. I guess I need to play the games to get an actual genuine appreciation, but I don't see the hype, to be honest. So, yeah, that's my thing.
I do understand why it's very difficult to get into Final Fantasy, especially with the list of games you've given of what you've played. You've played bits of. It's you've played the spin-offs.
Which one is the spin-off?
Which 10-2 and Dirge of Cerberus.
Okay.
They're spin-offs. They're not actual. They are Final Fantasy games in the sense of they're continuations of some stories from Final Fantasy, but they aren't the main games. They are just continuations of these stories which have already been told in their own game. But at the same time, like, I completely get it. Like, my first Final Fantasy game was 10-2 as well. That's the first one I played. And from that, I went back and played 10, and I absolutely hated 10. And I still hate 10 to this day. And a lot of people give me weird looks when I say I hate 10, but I hate 10. And then I went back and played 7, and I loved it. Then played 8, it was alright. Played 9, I'm in love with 9. And then I went back and played 6, and 6 as a game is like, 6 is probably the earliest I'd say to go back to. Maybe 4 if you really want to like see the early Final Fantasy thing, but at the same time 6 is probably the earliest I'd personally go back to, because 6 has the characters in 6 are probably the best characters until 9, in my opinion. Like, no one's gonna beat like Kefka villain wise, like, ever. 15 has come close, but that's that. I think Final Fantasy 15 you would like, because it's not like other Final Fantasy games. It's more like, I have to say it, and a lot of people are gonna be like, no, it's not. But think about it for a second, people. Final Fantasy 15 plays like Kingdom Hearts.
Ooh, I like that.
It's a little bit more. It's not turn-based. It's like action. It's an action RPG. It's slower than Kingdom Hearts. It's about as fast paced as Kingdom Hearts 1 is, gameplay wise. But okay, you have different things, like magic is in the game, but it's a little bit less. It's essentially, when they use magic, they're essentially grenades that just have the things, because it's like sort of a slightly more realistic world. There's like magic is like these like magical grenades, they throw at them and they explode, but in the element. And I really like that. And it's like, the worlds in Final Fantasy they create are phenomenal, like, to look at, but sometimes the stories do fall flat on their face. I'm looking at you, 12. I love 12, but it is literally the story of Star Wars.
That actually brings me to another point about it, is I'm not the hugest fan of turn-based RPGs.
That's a turn off. I understand that.
What?
I was like saying, okay, I understand that.
Because, like, in Kingdom Hearts, it's not really turn-based. You know, you keep attacking, you don't have to wait for the other person to attack. In I don't really like Chain of Memories that much, because instead of just attacking freely, you have to do your card combos and things. And yes, it's a pretty good idea, like, it's original, kind of. Like, I get it, but at the same time, I prefer to attack with, you know, however I want to, which is one reason I like the Zelda games so much, is you can attack as much as you want. You don't really have to wait on another person. Sometimes, some of the Zelda games, you do have to wait, like, for their weak points to be exposed before you can attack, and that's kind of turn-based, but whatever. But if, in Final Fantasy 15, if it's not really turn-based, I probably would like that. However, a contradiction to that is, I absolutely love Yu-Gi-Oh games and Pokemon games, and those are very much turn-based, but they're not necessarily. I don't know. Is Pokemon really in? I guess Pokemon's it is an RPG.
Turn-based.
Yeah, because you are.
Pokemon's a turn-based RPG.
Oh shit! I know it's. I need to quit dropping my phone. Okay, yeah. But like Yu-Gi-Oh is not really Yu-Gi-Oh. I guess it's kind of a. You see what I'm saying though, right? Like I like those type of turn-based things, but as far as like fighting, actual combat, I don't really. Because to me, in the real world, if you're gonna go and punch somebody, you're not gonna punch them and be like, okay, you punch me back. No, you're gonna keep punching them if you want to keep punching them. So like, that's my mentality of it. Which
there's
yeah.
a lot of there's parody videos online of like people in RPGs. Like there's a series that Machinima did called Sonic for Hire, and at one point Sonic goes into a Final Fantasy game, and he will stand there. It's quite funny that Sonic and Final Fantasy are the same thing. Sonic will stand there and he's just like, he actually says, why don't you just rush him? Why don't you just rush the bad guy? Why are you letting him hit you? And then they're just like, actually he makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And they all run and beat it. They all run and just beat the monster up, and it's like, exactly. Solved all RPG problems, just beat them up. But yeah, it's like I completely get that turn-based combat doesn't make much sense on paper for someone who doesn't. It doesn't make much logical sense.
I like Miitopia though.
Miitopia is sort of a bit more. Like having played it, is like you're only in control of one person, whereas in Final Fantasy you're in control of every single individual person, with every individual thing.
Yeah.
But Miitopia, you're only in charge of the hero, who, in my case, when in my playthrough is me, but everyone else is their own thing. So
sometimes that's good, and sometimes it's bad when Zen makes people eat spicy food and it makes them mad. Which
I find hilarious, because the two people he's done that to who've got really annoyed with him are two people who actually like spicy food in real life.
It's gonna be funny. It's gonna be funny if it happens to my character and she's like, "Oh, I love this because I can't handle spicy food because I have weird taste issues." So it's gonna be really funny if that happens. I imagine it's the same with everybody though. I imagine everybody's
I think
like
it
mad.
is. It's like it does come up. It did come up with that where it was like when it was spicy food, when it was the spicy, when you learnt the spicy food thing, it did come up with it's it makes the other person attack, and their attack is stronger for this turn, but it will decrease their happiness. It will make them more angry with them. Mm-hmm. So it's like by one stage it will make them angry. So
it's kind of like Sherry's singing off key thing, where like it does damage, but it also damages everyone in the party.
Yeah, it does loads of damage to everyone else, but to everyone behind them it does 1 damage. And there's like other ones that it does. It's like it's sort of, that's what I like about Miitopia as well. It's sort of a give and take with some of the things.
So, yeah, that's my spiel about not liking Final Fantasy. Please don't unsubscribe anybody, because again, these are our opinions. And yeah, I'm glad that you get where I'm coming from at least.
Yeah. Now it's time for my last one, which is going to offend a lot of people.
Oh dear.
Grand Theft Auto.
Oh.
I don't get it. I don't get the appeal, especially of 5, which is I like the PlayStation 2 era. I like one game in the PlayStation 2 era of GTA. That is Vice City.
Is that
San Andreas?
Okay, I was about to say it's
one that came out.
Yeah, I was going to say it's either Vice City or San Andreas.
Vice City is the best one. San Andreas is boring. 4 is annoying. And I've played them all, but because it's one of those things that I, again, sort of grew up with being around Grand Theft Auto. Because my uncle used to play it, and then he gave it to my older brother, and I used to watch him play it. But I don't, personally, when I've gone and played them, I don't have fun. I don't know what to do half the time. I'm just like, just gonna stand here. My friend Kyle put it best when I went around his and he was playing 5. He got a shotgun, stood in the middle of the street, shouted at the top of the lungs at a car coming towards him, "You are not observing the speed limit," and shot the driver. And just started a massacre. That is literally all I see that's all I see and all I think to do in GTA. I know there's a story, and there is quite an in-depth story to the games, but at the same time, for me, it just feels like a power fantasy. I'm going to even throw Saints Row in here. I don't get these power fantasy, not realistic inverted commas, games where you are essentially a one-man army. I don't get it. I don't like that sort of thing. It's, to me, just feels not forced, but at the same time, it just feels really, for people who aren't really people who are sort of not aware that this is like clearly supposed to be a tongue-in-cheek thing. People will assume it's why there's all this stuff about video games being violent and making people violent just because of games like this. Don't get me wrong, I know they're not making the games violent. It's like, it's the old saying, guns don't kill people, people kill people. It's like, games don't kill people, people kill people. Like, with that sort of mentality, it's like, the person playing the game, if they're mentally unhinged in the first place, they're the reason people are going to go out and like kill people. It's not because they played a game and it's made them want to do it. It might have influenced them in some way and given them ideas, but at the same time, the game is fundamentally it's a game. It's a power fantasy. Because as I play, for example, when I'm annoyed, I'll play Doom and I'll shoot some aliens' brains out. That's because it's therapeutic. I get that. Like, that's another thing with GTA. For some people, going out and massacring loads of random people is therapeutic for them because it like gets out all their anger. But at the same time, it's the way GTA has been like perceived by people, like in the media and everything. It makes it less. It's like, I wish it wasn't around just because of the amount of negativity it has created for gaming in general. But at the same time, I'm glad it's around. It's a really weird thing. I'm not a massive. I've played them. I'm not a massive fan, but I can see why. I do completely understand these open world games as well. I'm not a big fan of anyway. Like, I prefer being with a game like that. I get it. It's like, makes more sense it being an open world than here's a corridor for you to walk down. But I'm used to playing games where it's like there's an open world and then there's little dungeons in them because I've played too many RPGs. So, but it's like I completely. GTA is just one of those games for me that I don't really 100% see the appeal. I see some of it, but it's just because of all the negativity that gaming gets because of them. That's sort of why.
Okay, I've got several things I want to add. They're all small things, but like you've been talking, like wheels have been turning in my head. Wheels, gears, whatever. Few things. I agree with you. Like, I get the appeal. I've played a few, or I've seen a few played, but I think one thing that people enjoy about it is it's chaotic, and it's something that they can control. I guess controlled chaos. But, like, it's something they don't get to do in real life that they can do in a game and get away with to an extent, as long as you don't get caught or wasted or whatever. But I think that's one aspect of it. And there is a game kind of like Grand Theft Auto that I really enjoy, but it's not Grand Theft Auto. Have you ever heard of True Crime Streets of LA?
Yes, I have.
I like that game. If I play it again at this age, as opposed to the age I played it when I was younger, I may not like it anymore, but I always remember the ending as a good ending / bad ending / what the fuck is happening ending. And to me, I like that game better than Grand Theft Auto, even though it is essentially kind of a similar aspect of you go around, you steal people's cars, you can hit civilians kind of thing. It was funny because when I used to play it with my brother, he would go and steal cars, and I would always make him go steal a car that had a certain song playing. I can't remember what song it was, but he would only steal those types of cars that had that song playing. So I always remember that as like a nostalgic memory. But I really like that game. I need to go back and watch some of it to see if it holds up.
Like, the only game like that I've played and I have genuinely like enjoyed watching it or playing it was Saints Row 2, because of one cutscene. You're about to do a mission, you're in a car with one of your crew, and then he will say, "Can I put the radio on? Because I want to put my drive-by music on." Because you're going to do a drive-by shooting. He's like, "Can I put my drive-by CD on?" You're like, "Sure." He puts it on, and "I'm So Sick of Love Songs" comes on.
Oh, wow.
And then he starts singing it really out of key, and it's just like, that is to me is exactly what these games should be like. That's why Saints Row, I've whacked it in there with GTA, but it's Saints Row does the silly stuff and does it more so, because GTA, it started out and it was silly, but then they started reining it in and making it a little bit more realistic. Like 5 is probably the most realistic one out of all of these, to an extent. It's like, where's a hillbilly gonna get a fucking helicopter? But still,
You'd be surprised. I'm just saying.
Whenever they get a helicopter, I'm just saying, looks outside, there's like 3 helicopters over the street. Yeah. I don't know where they got them from.
Living out in the country, you see some weird shit sometimes. But anyway, yeah. Please help me. So, another thing you reminded me of is you're like, they keep making these games and you're like, you kind of wish they didn't exist, but you're also like, okay, they exist. Call of Duty is another series in Halo where I wasn't going to put them because they're sort of an easy target. Well, that's why. Hang on a minute. I'm not saying I don't like them. I do. I play Call of Duty from time to time. I'm actually kind of decent at it, to the surprise of people online who pick on me because I'm a girl and then I headshot them. But anyway, Call of Duty is one of the series where I'm like, after like the 5th game, stop. Because there's only so many different ways you can redo the story. I'm like, because games like Kingdom Hearts, where we're like really excited for the 3rd one, they've got a different story with different worlds. It's essentially probably going to be the same type of combat, the same type of thing we're used to, but it's still going to be different. With the Call of Duty series and like the Grand Theft Auto series, it's the same kind of formula with different story elements, and after a while it just kind of gets old, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get that.
So you just reminded me of that, because like I see all the time about like a new Call of Duty or a new Halo or new this or new that is coming out every other year or so, and I'm just like, isn't it like the 7th one by now? Like just give it a
I want to throw it out there. This will make you feel old. The very first Call of Duty game, I'm actually going to look it up so I don't get it wrong. The original Call of Duty, I want to say, came out on the PS1.
Oh, really? Wow.
Call of Duty... No, PS2. I was a little bit off, but...
But still, PS2 is like 20 years old now, isn't it? No, it's not.
Yep, first Call of Duty came out 2003. And they've been releasing one every year ever since. So it's 15 years
that's
old.
my thing. And like
really?
with the addition of zombies at one point, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty innovative. But again, there's only so many different ways you can do a certain story before it's just like, But the thing is, their audience is so massive that they can release games over the years, new games, and even if it's the same type of game, people are still going to buy it, because either A, they love it no matter what, which is great. It's great to have fans like that. Kind of toxic at sometimes. B, there will be people who will always hope that they'll change something, so they'll buy it anyway. So, like, I don't know, you just reminded me of that with that. It's a little tangent, but yeah, that's a thing. So, yeah.
Yeah, I completely get that, and I'm like,
But I do like Call of Duty.
That series, so yeah, that's another one that I was thinking about putting on the saying, but at the same time, I know that a lot of people do like it, and it's quite an easy game to like. I don't get Call of Duty because I clearly don't. It's not a game designed for me. But at the same time, I play Overwatch and I play Star Wars Battlefront, so.
Yeah, you shoot people and it's fun. I don't play it for the story. I play it online with friends and I play it to kill zombies. That's why I play it. Yeah.
Which is, that's, to be honest, there's some Call of Duty games that my older brother's played and he said the story's really good in some of them, but it's like, at the same time I'm like, it's Call of Duty. So, I don't think you would go to Call of Duty for epic story. You'd go there for shooting a guy in the head.
Yeah.
And shouting down the microphone, GG noob. And probably something racist, because that's normally what people do.
I just turn off voice chat.
Anyway, in my experience.
When they learn that you're a girl, oh dear Lord, it's just like, it's the worst. I just learned to not say it.
I did Left 4 Dead online with one of my friends once, which is another game very similar to that. and my friend started griefing on one of the people there, and they must have been like a 12-year-old, because they kept like shouting really like they're like obviously one of these kids that's just learned every swear word in the book, every like curse word, and is saying them. So literally, I had the microphone, so I heard it, so I covered my mic and I just said to him like, "Dude, let's do something funny here." And then I started talking like Nappa from Dragon Ball Z Abridged. And they all thought I was the guy who played Nappa in Dragon Ball Z Abridged. Everyone there was like, priceless. Vegeta!
Oh man, I was gonna say something.
That's basically it.
Yeah, I love Left 4 Dead, by the way. I just recently played it like last year with my stepbrothers. Oh my god, and we got to the end of one mission, but he left me and the other characters, the AI characters, he left us and got on the helicopter. And left us to die. I was so
left you for dead.
Mad.
You were left for dead.
And it was funny because when it got to the credits and everything, as soon as he did that, I just put my controller down and crossed my arms and waited for him to look at me. I just kept staring at him. When he looked at me, he's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Are you kidding me right now?" He's like, "What? You guys are taking too long." I'm like, "You literally ran away and let us do all the work and then get on the freaking helicopter. How fair is that? That's not fair. I'm not playing with you anymore." He's like, "Come on." I'm like, "No, you betrayed me." So yeah, it was just, I was so angry. It was like my first time playing too. I'm like, that's not what teammates do. You either all die together or you get out as many as you can. So.
But yeah, I think that's all really. There's obviously more, and if we think of more, we might bring this back and talk about other ones. But that's like our main ones, really. That I can really think of off the top of my head, anyway. So
yeah, me too.
Now we're gonna like do the channel shameless plugging shit that we normally do.
Yeah.
So what is coming out on your channel over the next couple of days to a week to whenever?
You
because
can expect.
We don't know what we're doing the next one.
Well, I'm starting work Monday, so uploads might be a little bit slower. I've thankfully been getting them out pretty consistently over the past 2 weeks, and I'm really happy about that. Because Dream Daddy is such a fun game to just record all in one sitting and split up into episodes, so it's really awesome. But you can expect more Dream Daddy. I'm going to play it until I finish all the routes, and it currently is 2 episodes away from being the longest series aside from Link to the Past. That's kind of bad, I feel, because I've only been playing it for like a month now. But expect more Dream Daddy, and hopefully... What?
I was going to say you're having fun with it, it doesn't matter.
Oh yeah, I'm having tons of fun with it. Expect more Zelda, hopefully. I really want to get more episodes out. I may have to do a dungeon per episode, so episodes might be like an hour long, but I really want to get it done. Because, like, the bad thing with Zelda is, like, this is the only bad thing, is even though I love the game, there's only so many times I can die and continue wanting to record.
Yeah.
It gets a bit draining, so every time I end an episode with Zelda, instead of with Dream Daddy where I just want to go into the next one, a lot of times I have to sit there and be like, do I really want to do another episode right now, or do I just want to, like, wait? So that's why, like, I try to do a dungeon per episode, and they get to be longer ones, and I know people don't necessarily like longer ones, but who gives a shit, it's my channel. But, yeah, like, I know that sounded kind of really mean. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's fine. To be perfectly honest, a lot of people seem to really like longer videos as well. There's some people who are very adamant, like especially that I know, who are very adamant, like videos mustn't be over 20 minutes long. But at the same time, there are other people who are like, I like having an hour-long video to have on in the background while I'm doing stuff. And it's like Zelda is a perfect game for that. Because you've got good music.
Yes, it really is.
You got some of the sound effects might get a little bit annoying, mostly.
Beep 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 beep. Yep.
And
you're dying sound.
Yeah, yeah, and that, but and your commentary as well. You're listening to something. You can switch off and you can listen while you're doing other things, which is great. And that's another reason why I like streaming so much, because it's like people can just switch off if they need to. But,
yeah, and I love longer videos. If I see some of my favorite creators like have a longer video, I'm like, oh sweet. Like with your Kingdom Hearts one, so you're like, this is like 30 minutes. I'm like, that's perfect. That is exactly what I wanted. I don't want like a 15-minute episode. But like, especially
Yeah,
with some
that's what I'm aiming
creators.
to do with Kingdom Hearts. So
With some creators who don't upload every day or upload like every couple of weeks, like not necessarily Let's Players either, but some of my content creators like that I've liked to watch, but only upload every couple of weeks and they upload like a 10-minute video. I'm like, I want more. So like it makes sense to me, but I do know a lot of people who are like, you shouldn't make videos longer than 15 to 20 minutes. I'm just like, whatever.
yeah. But
So
I'm
that's what's happening for me. What's happening for you?
well, Kingdom Hearts is continuing.
Yeah.
I've just uploaded episode 7, which is it's Winnie the Pooh and the start of Olympus Coliseum. The next episode's the end. Olympus Coliseum's the longest world in the first chunk, so I was expecting that to be 2 episodes anyway. So I got the second half of Olympus Coliseum to edit together, and then need to record more of that anyway. Then I've got Crash Bandicoot, which is continuing, and I've just recorded, like yesterday I recorded possibly the most ragiest video I've ever recorded, so that's gonna be fun to edit together. Of the DLC for Insane Trilogy. I also have Sonic Mania starting on Tuesday, which is going to be fantastic. I'm looking forward to that. And I stream on Tuesdays and Thursdays. That will change in the coming weeks because obviously my shifts are changing at work, so I won't be on night shift anymore. I'll be on twilight, which means I'm working different hours. But I've also started a new channel, which is a vlog channel, which if you want to see the daily goings on of me, you can go over there and see that. It's KBB Vlog, and there'll probably be a link somewhere, I don't know.
Yeah, we'll figure that all out post-editing like we usually do.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much all there is. Basically trying to get a video out every day now with the new laptop, which can run most things. So streams are looking better and more like high def to an extent, and then videos are doing great. Fun fact about videos, I recorded the new Crash Bandicoot video on this laptop and I forgot to tinker with the Elgato settings, so it was stuck on 1080/60. And last time I recorded on 1080/60, it was the sound audio was desynced. No desync. I can record 1080/60. I can record 1080/60 now, which is
that's awesome.
Fantastic. So expect a lot of 1080/60 videos on my channel. But yeah.
I was gonna say, like, since you have a new work schedule coming up, and I'm starting work next week, we don't know when the next one of these will be out. Like,
yeah, we as we said, we were aiming to do weekly. Then we sort of both went to each other. We should probably do it fortnightly, and now we're doing it whenever we get a chance. It's just
like every couple of weeks, because
every
like,
couple of weeks is probably the best thing to do.
It's not having ideas, because I actually have an idea for another one I'll talk to you about later. But like, we don't have ideas. It's we don't have time to do it. So the want is there. It's just finding the time to actually both sit down and do it is a thing.
Finding when we're both free and able to do it, because life is like very hectic at the moment for both of us. So like you starting your job and me doing my my course along with working
everything
nights, everything in general. But I like to keep busy, but at the same time I do need to find time to do this every couple of weeks, and I'll be able to do that. So
yeah.
So I think that's a podcast.
Yeah, I was like, we're both being like, I think, yeah, okay, so yeah. I'm bad at this.
It's fine. We're a little bit rusty, guys. If you're listening this far, thank you for being here.
Yes.
I'm KingBomBeard.
I'm J-Roll. Hey.
And we will see you in the next podcast.
See you later. Bye.